Imagine Stigler from Dune watching A Complete Unknown.
I walked and I crawled on 6 crooked highways.
Listen, I gave.
Or any other Timothee Chalamet movie where Stigler just says that line that became a meme. Hey movie buffs, I'm Jack Benner, and welcome to my first review of the year for A Complete Unknown. A Complete Unknown is the latest music biopic on Bob Dylan, directed by James Mangold, starring Timothee Chalamet. Set in the early 1960s, it tells the rise to fame story on Bob Dylan, played by Timothee Chalamet, then to his success in folk music until the Electric Dylan controversy in 1965. Before I get into my review, any new viewers coming across my channel for the first time, welcome to my channel. I am Jack Benner. I talk about movies on here. I do movie reviews. From time to time, I do some lists or rankings on here. So you like movie content, like what you see so far, definitely considering that like and subscribe button for more exciting movie content down the road. I was looking forward to A Complete Unknown. It was one of my most anticipated movies for the fall and winter of 2024 for a few reasons. Number one, I do like Bob Dylan's music. Great songs such as The Times They Are Changing, my personal favorite of his, like a Rolling Stone, Blowing in the Wind, and The Hard Rains Are Gonna Fall. He's such an iconic music with meaningful lyrics, and I've always wanted to see a music biopic on him to possibly learn more about him. Second, James Mangold, I think he's a great director. Although in 2023, I thought Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny was a disappointing film, and I remember I gave that movie a B when it came out. I enjoyed that movie enough, but then I did watch that movie again like last year, and my thoughts have changed. I went from like a B to a C+. I don't hate that movie, I just think it's a mixed bag. I think he has a great filmography, from the remake of 3:10 to Yuma, Ford v Ferrari, great movie. The Wolverine, I think, is an underrated X-Men film, and Logan is one of the best superhero films of the 2010s decade and easily the best X-Men movie. And I was excited to hear that he was doing another music biopic since 2005's Walk the Line. This is a fantastic music biopic on Johnny Cash, and Joaquin Phoenix and Reese Witherspoon are fantastic in this movie. So if you like The Complete Unknown and have never seen Walk the Line, definitely check this movie out. And three, Timothee Chalamet. Ever since I took notice of him in late 2017 or early 2018, he's been consistently impressing me in everything he's been in. And I think he's one of the most talented young actors of his generation. And I was confident he was going to knock it out of the park as Bob Dylan. And I remember when this project was in production, when it was titled Going Electric, and I was wondering, when is this movie gonna come out? And the teaser trailer come out, it was like, it's coming out on Christmas. I was like, oh, it's coming out 2024 for an awards contender? Awesome, I wanna see this movie. Trailers look great, I was excited for it. And I saw A Complete Unknown earlier in January, being the first movie I saw in theaters in 2025. I am satisfied to say A Complete Unknown was a really good biopic that's well told, engaging, well acted, really good film. First and foremost, on my pros, Timothee Chalamet as Bob Dylan is outstanding. Ever since I took notice of him in late 2017 or early 2018 in films such as Lady Bird and his Oscar-nominated performance in Call Me By Your Name, ever since then he's always been showing to be an amazing young talent. From Little Women, Paul Atreides in both Dune films, and his impressive musical chops in Wonka, and A Complete Unknown. This might be his best performance so far. Chalamet goes above and beyond, capturing the spirit of Bob Dylan from his mannerisms, singing voice, music skills, arrogance, mystery, and depth phenomenally. And fortunately, from the voice that is spot on, it does avoid being an impression of him, and more so just disappearing into the role. There was like, I totally buy him as a young Bob Dylan. And knowing when to give him depth and humanity. All impressive vocally, from the singing voice, harmonica skills, Bob Dylan's high notes. All the praise surrounding Timothee Chalamet this award season is absolutely deserving. Now, I have yet to see The Brutalist. I am trying to find time to see that movie. I know it's 3.5 hours, but I do want to watch that movie. And I have heard Adrian Brody is the frontrunner to win Best Actor right now. But if Timothee Chalamet does at least win something like Critics' Choice or SAG, I will be very happy, and if he does end up winning the Oscar for Best Actor, I'll be satisfied with it. I think it would be a deserving win. Of the nominees of who is nominated for Best Actor, who I really want to win is Colman Domingo. Now having seen Sing Sing, he is extraordinary in that movie. Please go see Sing Sing. But I just know he's probably not going to win. But hey, if Timothee takes the Oscar, I'll be happy about it. But it's not only Timothee Chalamet who was absolutely fantastic in this movie. We got terrific supporting performances here. Edward Norton is excellent as Pete Seeger, Ella Fanning, and Monica Barbaro, who you remember also was Phoenix in Top Gun Maverick. They're great too as women in Bob Dylan's life. And I mentioned Walk the Line earlier, and Johnny Cash does have a supporting role in this film, and Boyd Holbrook does a great job at playing him and making it his own. And he's been collaborating with James Mangold in villain roles such as Logan and Indiana Jones 5. So hey, more of this actor in movies, I'm happy to see it. And James Mangold continues his talents as a filmmaker, doing a great and assured job behind the camera. Avoid doing anything flashy or over the top with his direction. Yeah, like with Baz Luhrmann and Elvis in the first half of that movie, I thought the style was a bit over the top. An issue I tend to have with Baz Luhrmann, but he knows when to do an amazing job of filming the concert scenes, adding a realism to it with the singing and the instruments, but also keep the story engaging at the same time too. And the production, costumes, and the setting of 1960s New York is top notch. And as for the concert sequences, there are two that are amazing highlights. One, my favorite Bob Dylan song, and not really any bias here, The Times They Are A-Changing. That was one of my favorite scenes in the whole film, and the climax at Norfolk was fantastic too. And this didn't really feel like a typical music biopic. Rise to fame, drugs involved, big comeback. It's not really like another Walk the Line. I do know Johnny Cash and Bob Dylan have like different stories. It was more so an interesting story and a pivotal moment in Bob Dylan's life and career in folk music. And I felt like it was told in the most interesting way possible, seeing his rise to fame and what his lyrics meant to people, and seeing how Bob Dylan felt towards fame and how he couldn't really handle it and how he felt overwhelmed, and his relationships with other people such as Pete Seeger, his girlfriends, and James Mangold did a great job of letting the story breathe and keeping it interesting throughout. As for any issues I do have with this movie, I do have a few. One, I do feel like the movie is a little bit too long. It is 2 hours and 20 minutes, and maybe it does go on a little bit too long for 10 minutes or so. And second, I can kind of see what they were going for with the mysteriousness of Bob Dylan. I can kind of see why they went with the title of A Complete Unknown. One, since that is one of the lyrics of Bob Dylan's songs like a Rolling Stone, but also does talk a little bit about his past here and there. I feel like the film does focus a bit too much on the mystery of Bob Dylan. I do wish it could have delved a little bit more about his past that it was mentioned. It does when I heard it was like he was in a band way back in the day, but it did feel glossed over. And I do wish it could have been a little more interesting to discover. To sum up, James Mangold returns to craft another great music biopic with A Complete Unknown. Avoids being another generic music biopic that's formulaic, more so tells an engaging story about Bob Dylan's life, with great direction from James Mangold and fantastic performances, especially Timothee Chalamet stealing the show as Bob Dylan. I would definitely recommend this movie to you if you're fans of Bob Dylan's music or you're fans of Timothee Chalamet as an actor. Definitely go see this movie. Or if you're interested to know about his rise to fame story, definitely go see this movie. Or even if you're not fans of Bob Dylan or his music, don't really listen to him that much or want to know more about him, I think there is something interesting that non-fans can enjoy out of this film. And recently, Timothee Chalamet was just nominated for his second Oscar nomination for Best Actor since Call Me By Your Name. It just proves he is continuing to go above and beyond with great career choices. And let's just say it doesn't stop there, as later this year, he is doing a new film with one of the Safdie brothers who did Good Time and Uncut Gems in a new film called Marty Supreme. And looking back to Robert Pattinson in Good Time and Adam Sandler in Uncut Gems, him doing a film with one of the Safdie brothers, oh, I am so in. He's going to give another great performance. I can't wait to see that film. Let's just say with this and Dude Part 2, 2024 was a banner year for Timothee Chalamet. And now to grade it, I'm going to give A Complete Unknown 4 stars out of 5, a B+. This film was just recently nominated for 8 Oscar nominations, including Best Picture, Will it win anything? I think its highest chances for now is Timothee Chalamet, but we'll see what happens. And as for other music biopics and one that's coming out later this year, we finally have a Michael Jackson biopic named Michael. And I'm excited since I've always wanted to see a Michael Jackson biopic. And it's also great that they got Michael Jackson's nephew playing the role, Jafar Jackson. So I'm looking forward to seeing how he does in the role. I think it's going to be a great star-making performance for him. So I'm looking forward to seeing a trailer for that someday. And hopefully director Antoine Fuqua does a good job with that one. Although from what I've recently heard that the third act is being rewritten, which gets me nervous. Are they going to play that movie safe? Or are they going to go a little dark and dive into the controversial aspects of Michael Jackson? I'm not sure, but I'm hoping for the best with that film. Anyways, if you haven't seen A Complete Unknown yet, whether it's still in theaters, do go see it. Or if you missed it in theaters, if it's out on digital or Blu-ray, definitely go see it because it is a really good film. So I would like to hear from you guys. What do you guys think of A Complete Unknown if you've seen it? Do you agree, disagree with my review? Or if you haven't seen it, are you interested in seeing the film or not? Let me know down below. Did you enjoy hearing my thoughts on this movie? You want to see more reviews like this in the future? If yes, please hit that like and subscribe button if you're new here. And don't forget that notification bell for my next upload in the future. It really means a lot. My social media links are in the description down below. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And if you'd like to see my written reviews, I do have a Letterboxd account, so if you'd like to follow me on there as well. And until the next video, I'm Jack Benner, and look forward to another movie review.